Hola! In today's video, I'm going to be sharing the ACE framework that has helped not only myself, my family, my friends, but also my clients to navigate life's challenges and tribulations, whether it's losing a relationship, whether it's trying to find your purpose, whether it's aligning with the highest version of yourself, whether it's losing your job and figuring out the next steps, whether it's dealing with family and health issues. We all could benefit from having a proven framework to navigate life's transitions with clarity and empowerment. At Yes God Wellness, we do believe that we create with the mind. And if you're here and you don't believe that, I encourage you to stick around so you can see how that's true. I want to warmly welcome you to the Yes God Wellness channel, where we explore the paths of least resistance and how to win at the game of life. If you're new here, my name is Megan. If you're not, welcome back. And I am back to again remind you that you are and I am the creator, because we are always creating our experience of life's experiences. Be sure to check out the links below to see how I can help you apply this framework in your personal situation so you can start living limitlessly right now. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get into the framework. I'm going to share my screen. So it's called the ACE framework because of the awareness, clarity, and experience. Those are the three main pillars of this framework. The first letter of those pillars is ACE, and I think it's a beautiful metaphor because it really is our ace in the hole for how we can navigate life. The first A for awareness, what's really hood? Like, what's going on? Are we being mindful? Are we being accountable? What is our current state? So who are we right now? We have to gain an awareness of who we are if we want to change who we are. And for mindfulness, we really have to pay attention to ourselves. And we also have to make sure that we're paying attention to the self-talk and the inner conversation and the dialogue that we're having, because that makes all the difference in the way that you feel about a situation. A lot of times our triggers and our traumas come out and we have stories about those things that we believe, and it's really important to take a look at those stories so that we can modify them as necessary. The next part of awareness is accountability. Baby girl, we got to get real with ourselves. We have to start asking ourselves some real questions and some hard questions. Number one, what part of my perspective could use a shift? Number two, what personality traits do I have that are having a negative impact on my life? Are they ruining relationships for me? Are they ruining opportunities for me? Like, what are my issues? I need to really get real with myself about that so that I can start to change that, instead of thinking that everything outside of me is supposed to change, because that's not how it works. How it works is that you smile and then you see a smile in the mirror. You don't wait for your reflection to smile back at you. Our reality, our lives, the things that we have manifested for ourselves are created by our silent expectations. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that we created someone passing away or someone behaving in a certain way. We don't have control over other people, but we do have control over who we engage with and what we entertain and what we tolerate. So boundaries are really, really important. But before we get there, we need to first look at our own self, be accountable with our own self, and see, where do I need to have boundaries with myself? Where do I need to switch things up? So what complaints do you have about other people? And what complaints have you heard about yourself? If you've heard complaints about yourself, it doesn't necessarily mean it's true, but it does mean it's probably worth you taking a looky-loo to figure out, hey, is this person have a point or not? Then the current state is really identifying where am I a victim of my current circumstance? And it's okay. A lot of times I hear people say, oh, you can't be a victim. Victim mode is this and bad. No, it's okay to be a victim, because from the victim state is where you empower yourself to something different. So it's important for you to honor that victimhood, to be honest, and to say, okay, you know what? I am a victim of this, but I am choosing not to be anymore. I'm choosing to take the power back away from that victimhood. So getting in touch with your victimhood is actually a very important part of manifestation and creating the life that you want for yourself. So really looking at, what is my current self-concept? What silent beliefs do I have that have led me to choose this current state? Do I believe that things never work out for me? Do I believe that it has to be hard? Do I have to believe that without pain, there's no gain? What are the silent beliefs that you have? Because those are actually influencing what you're manifesting and what you're experiencing on a day-to-day basis. The next pillar in the ACE framework is clarity. And this is where we get the opportunity to just go ahead and flip the script and say, you know what? I have an awareness about where I am. Now I'm about to get clear about where I'm trying to go, because no matter what it is, whatever circumstance, whatever breakdown you're having, whatever transition, whatever transformation you're seeking, there's always a current version of you and then a future state version of you. And it's really important to identify what you want that future you to look like. So in order to do that, number one, first and foremost, gratitude. You can just sprinkle a whole bunch of gratitude all over everything. Everything. How could my situation be a lot worse? That's a good place to start. If you have issues finding gratitude or finding things to be grateful for, I would implore you to look around and see that you have it better than a lot of other people. And that's not to minimize your issue, not to minimize your pain, but it is to say, baby girl, let's start looking with some gratitude colored lenses on and start understanding that it could be a lot worse. We get to flip the script. Even if we may not necessarily know exactly what we want for ourselves, we can look at the things that we don't want for ourselves and flip that script and just go opposite. Okay, I don't want to be in an emotionally unavailable relationship. Okay, so that means I want to be in an emotionally available relationship, which looks like this. It looks like someone caring how I feel. It looks like someone responding to me when I communicate. It looks like someone addressing my issues. It looks like, so really giving yourself the opportunity to get clear about your vision for what you desire for yourself. Okay. Next part of clarity is your choices. Looking at your choices. How have my choices up until this point gotten me to where I am? And more importantly, what choices do I need to make going forward to get me where I'm trying to go? A big part of the ACE framework is choosing delusion, honey, which means that no matter what it looks like, no matter what it sounds like, smells like, tastes like, feels like in this moment, I'm going to ignore that and I am going to focus in on the prize. I'm going to say, you know what? I don't care what it looks like right now, but in the future, this is what I want it to look like. So I know that future version of me makes these types of choices. She thinks about things this type of way. She perceives things this way. So really getting in touch with that future version of you so that you can start to get delusional, honey, and just be her now. New assumptions and matching affirmations. Affirmations are super important. People think that affirmations are only just, I am wonderful. I feel amazing. I feel great. Yeah, that's an affirmation, but you know what's also an affirmation? Things never work out for me. I'm always falling every time I try to do this or that. I'm always, all of those silent things that are going through your mind, those are the true affirmations that are truly creating for you. So we want to do and create our affirmations in a way that are going to permeate the subconscious. Yes, God. New rules of engagement, new availability. Okay, you know what? Now that I know what my delusion of grandeur is, this is the new thing that I want for myself. This is the new reality I want for myself. I'm no longer available to X, Y, and Z, right? If I know that I want to start a business, I'm no longer available to go out and party and drink and socialize when I need to be taking that time to be planning and investing in how I can serve the world through my business. So really coming up with the new version of yourself and then creating new rules of engagement for yourself and others about what that looks like to engage with you now. Intuition, identifying that internal bestie that a lot of us have lost touch with because we have experienced trauma, we've experienced loss, we've experienced disappointment in ourselves. Maybe we say we're going to start this new thing and then we don't do it. Maybe we say we're going to something and then we procrastinate. So we lose that trust in ourselves. So when our intuition comes in and says, hey, you should probably get up and go to the gym right now. Or, hey, you should probably go ahead and stop at that store and pick up that milk you wanted. By the way, because you might meet your husband in line. Things like that, your intuition is guiding you from a divine place. There is a divine connection that we have through God, through our intuition. So it is very important for us to listen to that, even if we don't understand it, even if it makes no sense to us at the time. It's important to listen because we need to rebuild that trust with our intuition because it is our divine guidance system. It is our divine GPS. Also, very important if you don't feel like doing something, and I'm not just saying like you don't feel like doing it because you're being lazy or whatever, but really start to pay attention to if this doesn't really feel good in my soul and I know this is a right thing for me, then should I actually be doing it? Because sometimes we fall into patterns of behavior of doing and trying to stick to a script about something that's not even in alignment with our future state. Yes, God. So the goal that we're trying to get to is the flow state, which is the liminal space of just allowing ourselves to be guided by divinely inspired actions. That is what the flow state is. For example, I've had this framework for a while and it came to me the other night. I was like, you know what? I need to actually put this together. Put all the pieces together. What does it look like? Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 that you're looking at right here. This is a product and a result of my flow state and me listening to that intuition that was nudging me. I was literally in the bed the other night laying down and I had a nudge to go downstairs and work on my framework. And I was like, it's late. Like I'm trying to get up in the morning and go get my steps in, blah, blah, blah. I got a phone call from my girlfriend and that was my sign. I was like, okay, you know what? Let me go ahead and get up and start working on this. And I'm so grateful and so proud of myself that I did this because, again, this has been something that I've been using for years with myself, with my friends, with my family, with my clients. But now I've actually put it together in something that I can talk about and that I can share so that people can help themselves, whether they are going through a breakdown right now of whatever caliber, okay? This really applies to most, if not all, situations. And in the future, I'm going to be taking various situations and breaking them down with this framework so you can see how it can and should be applied. Yes, God. Don't forget, if you want to work with me personally and go through your situation, I would love to do that as well. Third pillar of the ACE framework is experience. This is where delusions of grandeur, like I said, we got to get delusional. But before we do that, we have to learn how to pause. Stop, drop, and shut up, right? Stop that automatic program that we go on, right? That automatic, oh my God, this always happens. Why does things never work out for me? Blah, blah, blah. All those dreadful thoughts that kind of punch you and beat you up on the inside. You have to stop and zoom out from that. Take some deep breaths and realize that you are in the pause state. You have the privilege of knowing and understanding and applying the fact that you don't have to believe every thought that comes through your mind. Let me say that again. You do not have to believe every thought that you think. As a matter of fact, you probably shouldn't believe most thoughts that you think because you want to be intentional about the thoughts that you are thinking and that they are in alignment with the life that you are trying to create. So that pause step is very important to bring yourself back to that knowing and that understanding that, you know what, I know I feel a certain way right now. It's making my heart beat. I'm getting anxious. I'm scared. But you know what? I'm going to pause and I'm going to remember the ACE framework. And I'm going to get clear about where I am right now. Then I'm going to reacquaint myself with where I'm trying to go, my future state. What choices have I made? What is my intuition telling me? What are my good feelings telling me that I need to lean into? All right. The next part of the experience pillar is reframing, right? Reframing our perspective to the future state self. You know what? I already said I'm only available for this. I've already decided that I'm only available for that. I'm only doing this. I'm only that. Let me go ahead and start introducing those affirmations that I've already come up with that support the future version of me. Yes, God. And really getting yourself immersed in this delusion, right? This, I know it feels like this, it looks like this, but you know what? I've already decided that it's going to be this. So this is what it's going to be. Blah, 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 blah. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Nope. That has nothing to do with I've already decided, and I get to decide, and I get to choose, and I get to create my reality. Yes, God. The last pillar of the experience, the last part of the experience pillar is the being, which is, again, just more of the reframe, but actually just really getting yourself into it. For my fellow artists who have experience with acting and getting into a role, this is literally what we're doing right now. We are because we've already gone through the framework and because we're already clear about this is who I am now, we immerse ourselves in that. No matter what the 3D looks like, we have to ignore it. We have to be delusional. We have to take time to imagine. Even if you take 5 minutes, literally, it's so powerful. I have a course on imagination and the reticular activating system and how powerful it is. If you just sit with your eyes closed for 5 minutes, get into your breath, imagine this future version of yourself. Imagine yourself doing that thing or taking that trip or looking this way or having this relationship or being on the stage or purchasing the property or whatever you want to do. Is that you want to give yourself time to feel into the future version of yourself. All right. Having boundaries about, you know what, I already decided that this is what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm actually not available for that. Okay. So I don't want to make this video too long, but I did want to go ahead and go over this framework with you. I hope that this has been helpful. And I hope that you are really paying attention to your mental health. This is May 2023 right now at the time of this video, which is Mental Health Awareness Month. So hopefully this can be a tool for you. Again, if you have questions or concerns or any insight or any feedback whatsoever, feel free to leave a comment below. I would love for you to subscribe, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.